said he was qualified, so we whooped his ass, while he's in there. Now, the other stuff that happened, it went down the way it did, man.
I would like to wish you all the Brits go fuck yourself.
Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Grey Talks Wrestling. Hope you're all keeping well. This is my WWE draft review. Now, I didn't think there was much point doing one for SmackDown, one video for Raw. Let's just put it all together because in the way of storylines and rivalries and anything like that going on, we really didn't have a lot to talk about. It was mainly what was going on with the Usos. There was no Roman Reigns. It was Usos losing the tag titles on SmackDown and them carrying on Raw like they're going to get dropped from the bloodline. But we know what happens there. But we'll talk about the draft. That's all there really is to talk about from these two shows and discuss my feelings on who went where and how I feel about that. Let's kick it off with Raw. So this was over 2 nights, and then they added a few little more here and there. There were a few free agents. I'll get into them in a bit and what that means for those that are free agents. So Raw, they picked Cody Rhodes. So he's on Raw now, sticking there. Going to be fighting for a completely different championship because we know that Roman Reigns was drafted to SmackDown. We'll get to that in a bit. Becky Lynch, Imperium, so Gunther and his boys are coming over to Raw. The IC title coming with him. I'm happy about that, I suppose. Matt Riddle, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, like it matters. Shinsuke Nakamura looking better now he's come back. Indy Hartwell, the NXT champion, now coming up from NXT. Interesting to see what they're going to do with her. Apollo Crews, Candice LeRae, Sonya Deville, Dexter Lumis, JD McDonough, another call up from NXT. One from Ireland, formerly known as Jordan Devlin. If you followed him on the UK indie scene, you know what I'm talking about. Maxim Male Models, don't worry about them. Natalia, she still works here. The Viking Raiders, what a shit name that is. Zoe Stark from NXT. Every time I've seen her, I've been very impressed. Rhea Ripley, now she's a SmackDown Women's Champion. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here we go. Might as well say it now because Bianca Belair's over on SmackDown. She's a Raw Women's Champion. You know what they're going to do. That epic moment that they've done before. They're going to recreate magic once again, where everyone online loses their shit the moment that they get Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair to exchange championships. Why? Why are they doing this? I do not know. But there you go. Seth Rollins is sticking on Raw. The tag titles are going to be on Raw. So I don't know what that means for tag teams that have been drafted to SmackDown. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are on Raw, so they can't be defending those titles on SmackDown by all accounts anymore. So what does that mean for the tag teams that got drafted to SmackDown? Who knows? Will they bring in another set of tag team titles? Will they strip one of the SmackDown tag team titles away from Zayn and Owens? No, they can no longer defend them on SmackDown. It kind of makes sense. The Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio have to join Rhea Ripley wherever she goes. She is the leader of the Judgment Day. I don't know why they're not a whole full package. That made no sense to me. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the women's tag team champions, are on Raw as well. So what does that mean for any women's tag teams that are on SmackDown now? I do not know. Are they going to create more tag team titles? Is the division's really not deep enough for it? The New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, how are they still a thing in 2023? Trish Stratus is a full-time wrestler, is she? Now that surprises me, but she's on Raw. Along with Ronda Rousey, another part-timer. Shayna Baszler, where the hell has she been? Braun Strowman, oh my god, he's still got a job. Ricochet, never really been given a chance. We'd like to see him get a bit of a push. Now he's over on here, on Raw. Bronson Reed, Alpha Academy, the Jokesters, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, I suppose. Give them a go. Don't know what they're going to be able to do with them. I suppose they're bolstering up that tag team division. It's going to need to happen. Akira Tozawa, Dana Brooke and Emma. Jobbers on the women's side there. Akira Tozawa, same for the men's side. Indus Sher, if you don't know who they are, they're from NXT. That's Jinder Mahal. Don't hinder the Jinder. You can't anymore because he's coming with Veer is here. Will he get there? Who knows? And Sanga. Johnny Gargano got traded. Los Lotharios, remember them? Where the hell have they been? Nikki Cross still got a job. Odyssey Jones, where the hell has he been? And how did he get a draft? Piper Niven, Riddick Moss, formerly known as Old Madcap, Tegan Knox and Xia Li. A lot of women on there, and they need to because they've got the women's tag team titles, and they're going to have to bolster that roster with women as much as they can to make it legitimate why they've got the women's tag team titles around. And yeah, that's all it is, I suppose. So we move anyway to SmackDown, and their first pick was the Bloodlines, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. Made sense, really. You're not going to move Roman Reigns off of SmackDown, are you? He's the big man, he's the draw, he's the money. But who's he going to be working with is the question. Bianca Belair, she's moved over. Like I said, they're going to have to do that epic title switch that we can't wait to see. It's going to be absolutely electric. It's going to be history making, ladies and gentlemen. Do you remember the last time they did it? It was just unbelievable. The Street Profits join Bianca Belair, I suppose. Montez Ford joining his missus on the same show. Makes sense. Edge, the Rated R Superstar. Bobby Lashley, wouldn't mind seeing him getting another go at Roman Reigns. That would make sense. The OC, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson and Mia Yim. Didn't know she was part of the Bullet Club. Where did that come from? But they're back, and I'm happy about that because I love me some AJ Styles. Damage Control, that's going to be entertaining with Bayley and Michael Cole because their relationship is pure gold. Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, gotta say I'm really happy for Alba Fire. I watched that girl grow up on the UK indie scene. Kaylee Ray, here we fucking go. Do you remember those days? With Ravy Davy. Oh, I'm glad for her. The Bucky Boys. Hit Row, Flop Dollar, Ashanti the Adonis and B-Fab are still on SmackDown. They've still got a job somehow. Lacey Evans, she's still around, is she? She's still got a job. Austin Theory, the United States Champion, moving to SmackDown. That's a good get for them. Really, arguably, the MVP of the draft, maybe. He's got big future, man. So, him being on SmackDown is a big get. Charlotte Flair, don't see much of her anymore. The Usos were drafted to SmackDown, so that story of them being ousted from the Bloodline not coming quite so soon. The LWO all join SmackDown as Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. Asuka is on the blue brand. The Brawling Brutes. There's some factions here, man. Factions. We got the Brawling Brutes. LWO. Hit Row. OC. The Bloodline. This is a faction-heavy show for SmackDown. We got Karrion Kross and Scarlett. LA Knight. Yeah. Shotzi Blackheart. Meh. Pretty Deadly. Another boys that have come up from the UK scene. Very proud of them to see them get where they have got to. Rick Boogs. Cameron Grimes going to the moon, ladies and gentlemen. Deservedly gets a place on the roster. Can't wait to see what he does. Tamina and Grayson Waller. Can't wait to see. This guy's a star. Can't wait to see what he does on SmackDown. Interesting. We've also got some free agents now. I don't know why they're doing this and what's the point. Some of them feel like just jobbers that they couldn't decide which show to shove them on. Others, like Brock Lesnar, for one, is one, yeah, you want on either show. If the ratings are falling or floundering, yeah, you stick him on that show. So that kind of makes sense. So Brock Lesnar being a free agent made sense, but Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Omos, and Von Wagner as free agents makes very little sense to me. Supposedly Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander have joined that list as well. Really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They just couldn't decide where to stick these jobbers, so they'll just shove them as free agents, stick them where they please, just to job out every now and again. Other than that, as long as they keep these shows separate and have separate pay-per-views, maybe bring them together for the big 5. Other than that, I don't want to see them mixing. I don't want to see SmackDown and Raw guys fighting each other every other week. One of them turning up on Raw, one of them turning up on SmackDown. I don't want to see that. I want to see separate shows, separate storylines. It's after Backlash, supposedly. That's when it's going to start, and that's what I want. This could be really good if that's what they do, if they keep it like that. If not, it's going to be quite disappointing. It's the same old shit over and over again. Interesting to see what they're going to do with the tag team divisions. Like I said, whether they'll strip Zayn and Owens of the SmackDown titles because they can't defend them on SmackDown, and the women's tag team titles, what happens there? Some interesting thoughts. Let me know what you think down below. The draft could be a very good thing. It could mean absolutely nothing. Let me know what you think down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.